Hello viewers, welcome to UN Autonomous College. Today we are going to discuss about a new concept that is known as shell scripting in Unix part. Now we can focus on the slide. So in this slide we are going to discuss what are the different outlines related to this topic. We are going to briefly explain about it, that is known as introduction about this topic, then what is the use of this shell prompt, then shell types and shell scripts, then learning what are the different examples related to this topic, then shell comments, then extended shell scripts. These 7 parts are related to a topic. By using these 7 related parts which must be used in our programming concept. So in this shell programming, first of all we know a shell provides you with an interface to the Unix system. It gathers input from you and executes program based on that input. So when a program finishes executing, it displays the program's output. So shell is an environment in which we can run, that is known as our commands, whatever we have in our system. This type of commands must be executed in our system, and some programs also we have, and what are the different type of shell scripts are related to our topic. So there are different flavors of a shell we have in our Unix system. So just as there are different flavors of operating system we have, because you know that, so according to different type of operating systems we may have different type of shells, but the way of shell description may be equal or variant according to the system requirement. So here, so that is the one flavor we must be analyzed according to user requirement. So each flavor of shell has its own set of recognized commands and functions, because whenever user can describing any type of shell concept, and there are we have some commands with shell functions. According to that commands and functions we can merging it and giving a one brief idea about that topic. So in the next slide we are going to discuss what is the real concept of shell prompt. So here the prompt that is written as a $, which is called the command prompt, which is issued by the shell. So while the prompt is displayed, then you can type a command. So here the shell reads your input after you press the enter. First of all, you can, whenever you can open that script, we are getting a prompt that is known as a $, and that is known as a command prompt in Unix shell programming. So here whenever user can type any type of commands with this $, then we must to press enter. After pressing that enter, it determines the command you want, that is known as executed by looking at the first word of your input. Whenever you can putting any type of system commands in there according to its one structure, then we are getting a beautiful environment at the time of execution. So a word is an unbroken set of characters. So spaces and tabs separate these words according to user way of formation in their prompting equation. So the following is a simple example of the date command, which displays the current date and time. First of all, user can put here $, that is known as a one command prompt in a Unix system. Then we can type here date. Whenever user can typing this date command, then we can press enter, then it can show this output whenever user can giving this command like date, that is known as a Thursday, June 25, then 8:30, then it is one year 2009. These are general examples which is used in our Unix system. So in this way we are using this shell prompt according to user own requirement. By using this $ prompt, user can type any type of commands, that may be date, that may be time, whatever user want to do in it. So in the next slide we are going to discuss what are the different type of shells types we have. We know that in Unix system there are 2 major types of shells we have. One is a Brownie shell, which is known as if you are using this Brownie shell type, then your $ character is the default prompt, and this $ symbol is known as a default prompt in this Brownie shell programming part. So we have another shell that is known as a C shell. If you are using a C type shell, then the percentile character is the default prompt, but in the Brownie shell we can using like $ prompt. By default in our Unix system we are generally using this Brownie shell environment, because in that environment we have this $ character. Similarly, whenever user can taking the help of this C shell, in that the time of using this C shell, user can take the help of this percentile character is the default prompt in this Unix system. So the Brownie shell has the following subcategories, like the Brownie shell SH and the Korn shell KSH, then Brownie again shell that is known as a BSH, then we have Fox's cell that is known as only SH. So these are one way of explanation through which you can be categorized different type of Brownell cell environment, because that Brownell cell environment must be subcategorized in 4 parts, which is already explained in this slide, because you know that SH, KSH, BSH, then last one also known as SH. So this Brownell cell is divided or subcategorized according to these 4 parts, because you know that in the Brownell cell we are generally using this $sign for giving any type of command processing, and if a user can prefer to use this C cell, in that moment we must to use that is known as a percentile symbol as a character for giving any type of commands to that system. So whenever user can taking this kind of environments, we are getting some sequential outputs in our monitor screen. So in the next slide we are going to discuss what are the different parts related to this type of this cell scripting. So here we have the different C type cells also we have, that is known as a C cell, that is written as a CSH. Then we have the 10x or top C cell, that is known as TCSH. So here the original Unix cell was written in the mid 1970s by Stephen R. Brownell while he was at the ATT Bell's Labs in New Jersey. So here this area we have going to discover this Unix cell programming part. According to that cell programming, we are designing one type of environment. In that environment we are developing some systems project. So according to that environment we are generally writing some commands. So this environment is very useful whenever user can taking the help of any type of environment, that may be C type or Brownell type. But generally that Brownell type is naming culture according to the scientist name, that is known as Stephen R. Brownell. According to their name we are giving that cell name that is known as a Brownell cell. So that Brownell cell was the first cell to appear on Unix system. Whenever your user can develop or scientist can develop that a system that is known as Unix operating system, in that Unix operating system we have the beginning cell name that is known as a Brownell cell. So thus it is referred to as the cell. According to that cell we are going to discover what are the different cells also used in different parts in our Unix system, we are generally discovered in that area. So here the Brownell cell is usually installed as the /bin/sh on most versions of Unix. So for this reason it is the cell of choice for writing scripts that can be used on different versions of Unix. So whenever user can prefer any type of versions of Unix, according to that versions we have different type of Unix operating system. So whenever user can using like there's a bin/sh that is known as a Brownell shell, which is already discussed in the previous slide, that is known as a Brownell shells, which is already mentioned here. SH is known as a Brownell cell part. So in that Brownell shell we have to write some formulas. According to that formula we are discovering some explanation in it. So in the next slide we are going to discuss what is the use of these cell scripts and what are the real importance of that cell script. So here the basic concept of cell script is a list of commands which are listed in the order of execution. A good cell script will have comments preceded by that is known as a hash sign and describing the steps. So in this way we are generally writing some commands with that command line that is known as a hash sign, and that hash sign is, if a hash sign is preceded in any type of statement or any type of command, that is known as one way we can say that is known as one comment lines. So whenever user can have more than one statements, in that time we can say it is a have more than one comments in that environment. So there are conditional tests we have, such as the value A which is a greater than value B, and loops allowing us to go through massive amounts of data, files to read and store data, and variables to read and store data. The script may include functions. So according to this type of statements we are generally executing our programming part in our Unix operating system. So this cell script is the most important part in our description of that, that is the environment of Unix scripting part. So here we are going to write many scripts in text, or you can say in the formation of the system requirement, and that is would be the simple text file. So in which we would put all our commands and several other required constructs that tell the cell environment what to do and when to do it. So using these two environment, that is known as what to do and when to do. So in this two way we can describing that whole part of this scripting environment. So here the shell scripts and functions are both interpreted. So this means they are not compiled. Due to that reason we never need to compile it, because the scripting part is always need to be interpreted. That may be a scripted elements or one functions which are used in our shell programming part. So according to these statements we are generally executing it and formulate it. So in the next slide we are going to discuss what are the different examples are used in our Unix operating system. So we know that if a user is not aware about it, user is always getting an error at the time of execution. So here we assume we create a test.sh script, because you know that whenever user want to designing a cell, and that cell is always saved with the extension that is known as .sh. That's why it is named as a test.sh script. So note all the scripts would have the .sh extension. Before you add anything else to your script, you need to alert the system that a shell script is being started. So this is done using that is the part of the sh-bang construct, and for example we can write here there is a hash, just we can say it is one way of comment explanation, then hash, then that is not exclamation mark, then /bin /sh. So in this way we can explain this brownish shell. So this tells the system that the command that follow are to be executed by the brownish shell. That means whenever, because we have the hash, and that hash is always using as a one part of, that is the part of, just we can say is a comment line. According to that environment we are generally executing it. So this tells the system that the commands that are follow are to be executed by the brownish shell. So it is called as sh-bang because the hash symbol is called a hash, and the exclamation mark symbol is used as a bang. So this is a hash bang, that's why it is known as a hash bang construct. So to create a script containing these commands, you put the sh-bang line first, then add the commands, that is known as hash, that is we have the script that is exclamation mark, then /bin, then /bash, then password ls. So in this way we are writing this whole part in our system. In the next slide we are going to discuss how to adding some comments in our Unix operating system, because you know that whenever user want to describe its information or its data, it must be in the brief and more elaborate formation. So if a user want to use this elaboration formation, we always need to prefer this hash symbol. So you can put your comments on your script, that is as follows, like we can put your hash, then exclamation mark, then /bin, then /b hash. So according to that we can putting here, then we are writing here hash author, that is known as Zara Ali, then hash copyright, tutorials points, then script follows. This is one explanation. Whenever user can writing any type of statement, it must be, we need to make it as a comment, then we must to put your hash which is preceded by each and every type of statement. So we need to save the above content and make the script executable. So in that time we must here put the $sign, we can write a chmod, and we can typing a +x, then we can be writing one cell type that is known as test.sh. Whenever user can putting this statement test.sh, we can need to press an enter, then the shell script is now ready to be executed. Whenever the statement is being executed, we are getting a $sign dot /test.sh. So in this we are getting that environment. According to that environment, we must be executed in a system. So often execution you will receive the following result. So /home, then /amrod. So we can writing here index.htm, then Unix basic utilities.htm, then Unix hyphen directories.htm, then test.sh, the Unix hyphen communication.htm, the Unix environment.htm. This kind of result we are getting whenever user can putting a test.sh. So these are one formation which are generally displayed, and after the pressing this command, and according to that command we are getting some environment. So if a user is not aware about it, then we are never getting the right consequence in our system. So if a user is need to be executed it, then we need to prefer some process. So in that process we are getting that environment. So in that environment we must be prefer to be process it. So this index.html and the way of explanation of this command, like just we can say test.sh, that is the one environment. So if a user is like that, to write this command according to one requirement, we never prefer to execute it. So if a user is need to be process it in consequence way, so in that moment we never be getting any kind of right output at the time of execution. So if a user need to putting any type of command, like we know that in our C, C++, in Java and HTML, in their environment also we have one comment purpose, and we know that comments helps to describe a whole program in precise way. Whenever user can take the help of this C, C++, Java, we are generally putting here /* and that must be end with the */. This command using for to making multi-line comment. If a user want to make it as a single line comment, we must to give double /. By using this way of explanation, we are making the whole program very precise order. So if a user is never taking this kind of commands, then we are getting an error at the time of execution. So in cell programming also we have one comment purpose, and that comment must be pasted or used according to this hash symbol. So this hash symbol helps to putting in our system to making it more reliable and very precise order. So in the next slide we are going to discuss how to extend these cell scripts. So we know that whenever user can using these cell scripts, we must to use different type of statements over here. So your cell scripts have several required constructs that tell the cell environment what to do and when to do it. Of course, most scripts are more complex than the above one, because you know that in the previous slide we have more than one cells program, and that type of cell programs are written in the complex structure. If a user is not aware about it, then we are never getting the right consequence at the time of execution. So here the cell is after all a real programming language. So the complete with variables, control structures and so forth. No matter how complicated a script gets, so it is still just a list of commands, so executed sequentially. If a user want to running their programs in sequential order, then we must typing their cells in sequential order also. So that cell programming must be mandatory for each and every type of system to designing this Unix cell programming part. So the following scripts uses the read command, which takes the input from the keyboard and assigns it as the value of, that is the part of the variable that is known as a Pearson, and finally prints it on the std out. So user must be taking the help of different type of cell that is related to some extended version. So in that moment we may type some command like read. According to the read command, we are maybe reading more than one options in our system. So we have may take some inputs from the keyboard as well as we can assign it. So according to this way of explanation, we must be executed in the system. So in the next slide already we have one screen that is known as output screen. So in that output screen we may be typing here that is known as hash, then exclamation mark, then we can giving here bin sh, that is a brownish shell, then we have the description, then whenever user can putting it, the echo what is your name, we can type your read Pearson, then echo hello, then Pearson. Here the sample run the script, then we can typing here $, the dot / test.sh, then what is the name, that is the Jarali hello and the Jarali. So this is one way of explanation, because you know that whenever user must be using this kind of environment, they must be aware about it. So if a user is never taking the help of this command, then we never take any type of advantage of this cell scripting language. So if a user want to design this cell scripting language in precise and reliable way or flexible way, we must be thoroughly have more knowledge about how to writing a script in the form of cell. So these are some relevant topics or relevant concepts we have discussed today. So okay, final thank you. If you have any doubt, please try to send query through our YouTube channel comment box. Thank you so much.